Sefton Park is on the south side of Liverpool. It is a massive park with beautiful landscapes. The park also houses an amazing Victorian palm house full of exotic plants from across the world. The palm house has been through many ups and downs and has changed a number of times throughout its history. It was saved from ruin by a charity set up by the local community in order to keep this beautiful building from falling victim to demolition.
Farmhouses were the thing to have in Victorian times. All the best cities had them, and Liverpool, of course, was the second city of the empire in those days. And so we had to have a farmhouse. And we were given the farmhouse by Henry Yates Thompson, who was a lawyer's son of a rich banker from Liverpool. And he gave it to the people to keep the plants in, and also for everyone to come and be educated about plants and to see something beautiful. So in 1897 it was given to the city. For years after that it ran very successfully, always being in the newspapers, always getting new plants in for the collections until 1941. And in 1941, of course, in the war, it was a viewing point for the bombers coming over. They could see it glittering in the moonlight. So first of all it was painted over green, and then it had a path painted over it to try and disguise it. But that didn't stop it being damaged, because the bombs were falling all around and the detonation forced out the glass. So after the war, after it had been standing empty and with the rain coming through for years, there was some war reparations money, and in the 50s it was repaired. But firstly, because the glass was put back using a different recipe of putty from what the Victorians used, and secondly because the heat was turned up to accommodate tropical plants, it started getting corroded, and the putty drying out, the glass pane started falling out, and it was deemed a danger. So it was all covered in hardboard all around the edges, and there was a big keep out notice, and the compound was closed to the public. A couple of students, I think after their exams, they sat up all night and did a great big notice, I think probably on sheets, and put it round the outside of the compound, saved it. And people came past with their dogs in the morning and went, "Ooh, why don't we?" So they had a meeting in a local church over there, to which my partner went. And he came back and I said, "How'd you get on?" He said, "Oh, we're all going to have a committee and we raised £70. And I thought, Anyway, that was about 1992, and it took them 8 years of running events in here where the glass was out of the roof and we were sitting in the rain.
On the summer solstice day each year, we had a complete day of events, and at, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, they were queuing right out to the outer fencing for coffee and croissant breakfasts, and the whole day went on after that. You know, we've had strawberries and cream in the afternoon and a ceilidh at night. Just to get funding together, you've got to start somewhere.
So when Heritage Lottery got going, they could see that it was valued by the community. They wanted it back up and running again. And the committee had to spend hours and hours, which I remember only too well, writing and rewriting bids until they passed all the criteria.
We put in for a fund from the European Union. They had a fund, and it was the first amount of money that they'd allowed to do a business study. So here you are, you want all this money to do the building, but you've got to get a great big book of, you know, words together to say how viable it could be and whether it would be viable as a business in the future.